Last time on The Great Ace Attorney 2.
You broke into my room to... It may seem incredible to the court, but from the remaining clues, there is only one logical conclusion that we can reach. Oh no, she's comatose again.
Are you seriously suggesting this woman put poison on the end of the gas pipe with intent to kill?
I read that put poison on the end of your gas pipe. I'm doomed. Put me out to pasture. I can't.
The attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago, surely. Perhaps not, my lord.
Oh.
There was a significant police presence in the area that evening on account of the incident on Briar Road. Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night. A circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at that time.
I told you that you shouldn't put a slug on your salad just because the place is called a slug and salad, but no. Now you said, it's in the name, Nash. I gotta put a slug on the salad.
That's the signature dish.
Oh, yeah, it's the delicacy, Nash. It's like this guy comes in like...
Hello there. Are you mocking our signature dish over at the slug and salad?
You, Duncan, was... Mr. Ross was Miss Green's fiancé. Fiancé? Oh, oops. You may not have known until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shamspeare. But she's known exactly who you are all along.
I'm sorry, but for me, it was just a Tuesday.
Because you're her sworn enemy. The murderer who took the life of the man she was to marry.
Oh, no.
Marry?
Inside, we found a newspaper cutting, a photograph, and an empty tin box. Yes, the thing is, when I found it...
I kept it.
The tin box wasn't empty.
Yeah.
The box wasn't
Up.
empty.
Oh, there it is.
What? There was something in it?
Yes. It's rather nice key.
Mr. Shamspeare, it was you, wasn't it? You were at the capital offender's side when he died, were you not? What are you talking about? 'Tis a false charge, I tell you.
A simple telegram to the prison where he died would quickly tell us how false the charge really is. But even if it's true, why would the man be so intent on killing every subsequent occupant of the convict's lodging?
There's only one explanation for that. It was in that very room that Selden hid his loot.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Disillusion Plays The Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we play the games and do the voices.
Yeah.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Taylor.
The
Nice.
double year.
Yeah. All the clarification I need.
Yes.
And just a little reminder before we jump in. If you are already subscribed to the channel, you will know. But if you are new, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell.
Yeah, and if you are subscribed to the channel already, hi, hello, thank
Hello.
you for that. We hope you're enjoying our stuff and continue to do so.
Thank you for returning for another video, and hopefully
Yes.
we don't bore the snot out of you.
Exactly.
Yes.
And also, if you like our stuff, feel free to leave a comment down below as well. We do like to read them
Yeah. We might even reply to one of them.
when we get time, yes.
It's over, Mr. Shamspeare. No. You're out of options now. There's only one thing left for you to do.
For you to pray for your forgiveness.
Admit your guilt.
And also pray.
Whoa. Oh, shameful spear! Despair! By be thy name!
Excuse me.
Oh,
Excuse me. I paid a lot for those pyrotechnics and you've just let them off early.
my goodness. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite so unusual. Oh my goodness.
Oh dear.
He's lost his hat.
Oh dear.
What on earth kind of mouth shape is that? God.
I don't like that angle.
No.
No, I never intended to kill the man. I just wanted to drive him out of the room, that's all. So you'd have time to find the convict's haul of stolen goods?
Maybe. Yet after you killed the young man, you still didn't move into the room.
I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused. Why? I was 3 months behind with the rent, for one thing. Mr. Garrideb really has had a lot to put up with. And he had the gas repair work done immediately afterwards, putting the room out of action for a while. And then this Japanese man swooped in at just the right moment to sign the new lease.
Poor Mr. Natsume. What unfortunate timing. What I was going to say.
You were right the first time. Oh dear.
Bye.
Oh dear.
Then, 5 days ago, after the incident on Briar Road when the Japanese fella guy self-arrested, I thought I'd finally have my chance, but it wasn't to be. To be or not to be.
Oh, for God's
As it turns out,
sake.
it was not to be.
No. The scene was sealed off and guarded by the police night and day.
And, if I remember rightly, Mr. Sholmes spent the whole day there reading books.
Ah, yes. I remember one in particular. Something about Monsieur Le... Well, I probably shouldn't say the name, really. It's just quite daring.
Do you want to get out of a crime scene, or are you just going to stand about polluting the evidence then?
Oh, my.
It's quite an easy read, really. You just open it and it goes boing.
Yes. One page.
I couldn't even enter the room, let alone search for the loot. Which is why, on the day Mr. Natsume was acquitted and returned to his room, you once again tried your trick of blowing air into the gas pipe that feeds the stove in his room.
Unbeknownst to you, however, that action would lead you into a deadly trap.
When did you get here?
Well, I've just got back up actually from you doing your pirouettes and everything. You just knocked me flying.
I suppose it is amusing that he did all that stuff, but then she wasn't there at all.
Yeah.
She'd like, oh, I'm just going to run over to the side here and hide.
William Shamspeare,
I'll hide behind my box.
how does it go? To be or not to be? That is the question.
Oh, it wasn't quite flamboyant enough, but you've got the right of it, I suppose.
From Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1.
Well, let me tell you, in your case, it's not to be. That is the answer. You deserve to die for what you've done.
And then she pulls out a knife and stabs him. It's like, whoa!
Jesus. Yeah, she's actually got like a little dagger in one of her paintbrushes. She just unsheathes it.
Oh my god, like a secret one.
Yeah.
Goodness. He needs to go.
Just kicks her off
sounds
the-
like he needs to go poopy.
Just like side kicks her off the box. Damn you, woman.
At first, I really did think it was just a terrible accident.
Oh, Sarah, you really just for a second there. Use the damn you woman. I'm like, what's that from? What's that from? And then it just made me think, oh, you actors, don't be such a big girl's blouse.
Oh yeah, Mrs.
Mrs.
Oh no, is it Meekins?
Mrs. Miggins.
Miggins.
Mrs.
Miggins.
Miggins Coffee Shop, which is another Blackadder reference. Sorry about that. Referring to actors.
He's made that horse's willy last all day.
Huge, suspicious-looking sausages in a scarlet pimpernel sauce.
He has made that horse's willy last all morning.
Sorry, Taylor. Just
we've
off on a
lost it.
tangent.
We've lost it again.
I'll never forget our conversation the night before Duncan died.
No, it's all serious, and here we are quoting Blackadder.
No.
Oh, this is Duncan.
This is
So we're
Duncan.
going like, the gas supply in my new lodgings are a complete disaster, you know, Olive. The gas...
The gas supply?
Yes. The stove always seems to go out in the middle of the night for some reason. That's no joke. Or is that... That might be Olive. I don't know. They say it's the convict's curse.
Oh, Duncan, please, don't stay there. I don't care how cheap it is.
All right, then. If that's what's important to you, I'll start looking for a new place.
There are spare rooms in my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight?
No. I'd better not. We said we'd wait until we'd graduated before we told our parents, remember?
Oh, the bloody old religion getting in the way again. No sex before marriage, no living together. If that had not happened, he would have died. Bloody hell.
That was the last time we ever spoke. That very night, he fell victim to the gas.
It's really annoying with doing this sort of accent, wanting to go gas.
Yeah.
And it sounds so stupid. Like, it's not gas. And yet...
If only I'd known it was going to happen, I'd have insisted that he left that horrible room that instant. But instead, all I've been left with is bitter regret. I stopped going to school, but something kept drawing me back to the house on Briar Road. I saw a stooped Eastern-looking man with a moustache coming out the house one day when I was there. He walked up the road to grab Scrabbery for some food, so I followed him. I sat myself down next to him. He had some watery-looking soup and started to pick a quarrel with the publican.
Sorry.
What's a publican?
The pub owner.
That place is cursed, I tell you! Cursed! The ghost of that convict who used to live there is trying to suffocate me! I wake up in the middle of the night, freezing to death because the stove has gone out. The room is full of gas and I can hardly breathe. But the pipes have been checked. No problem there. It's like I'm the problem! That's what they're thinking.
But how could that be? Duncan was gone and now this man had almost suffered the same fate. Could it really be a curse?
There's no such thing as coincidence.
Then I remembered. A rumour I'd heard about how the gas companies go round investigating the gas installations.
A rumour? Oh, you mean...
Yes. Everybody's heard the stories, it seems, about how they go round checking the pipes.
How anything connected to the gas can be extinguished by blowing air into the pipework.
That's when it started. A little flicker of doubt in the back of my mind that just wouldn't go away. Was it really an accident, though? Once I had the idea, it wouldn't leave me alone. It plagued me day and night. So I bought this at one of them black markets in the East End.
Black market?
Do you really need Sasato to explain what a black market is, Ryunosuke?
She's going to open up the book.
She's like quietly flicking through a book on the side.
I'd never been. I just heard people talk about them. And you really can buy anything you can think of there. In some ways, being able to get my hands on this so easily made me even more determined. I had to find out one way or another. Was Duncan's death an accident? Or was it murder?
And your chosen method for establishing the truth was simple, but highly effective. Smear poison on the gas pipe you suspected the man of tampering with, and wait.
If Mr. Shamspeare was innocent, nothing would come of what you'd done. But if he was guilty, he would pay for his crimes dearly.
I only wish I hadn't smeared some more on it, honestly.
I wish I didn't put enough on. I found out the name of the man I suspected. Olive and Shamspeare. And then I wrote him this little note. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. If he'd done it, I knew that would worry him enough so he'd be sure to go. So I waited to see if it worked.
And of course, Mr. Shamspeare followed the instructions to the letter. Ha ha.
I worked out where the
You-
gas pipe was straight away.
You saw what I did there, did you? Good.
So I smeared a good amount of the poison I bought all over around the mouth of the pipe.
Taylor, I heard that.
The hesitation.
All the time praying that the devil's work wouldn't be done. And that it was all just some wild fantasy.
Narrator's note: it was not some wild fantasy.
Actually, no. All the time praying that the devil's work would be done. And that the culprit would get his just desserts.
So, yes, Mr. Natsume innocent then? Good? Yes?
Okay, let's go. Oh, so sad.
Oh, sad Susan.
Sad song.
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
crap.
goodness, crikey.
I feel bad for her, really.
Oh dear. What? Could you repeat that last part, please? I didn't quite catch it. 3 days ago. Or perhaps several, perhaps about 15 episodes? When you were first stood in the dock before me, this whole affair seemed relatively straightforward.
Yes, my lord.
I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity that we would subsequently find lurking behind the scenes. It has been a long road, my Nipponese friend.
Oh, yes!
And I won again.
And one I certainly didn't envisage walking with you.
After all, I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known.
Yes. If I were not in court, I would be wearing green this day.
Oh, for God.
Don't know where it goes, but I'm still alive, and I walk alone.
Alone.
You ruin a perfectly good song, guys.
I have no idea what Mr. Van Zieks is on about, but anyway, nevertheless, together we have reached the light at the end of the tunnel.
What do you
as it
mean
were.
together?
Yes, I mean, with a very small amount of help from the defense.
mean the royal
we. I suppose by I should possibly include you, have reached the end of the tunnel with my incredible deductions that we have made as a
My
team.
dear fellow.
Miss Green,
Yes, my lord.
you're in for some serious shit.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I know, I did it on purpose. You've done some terrible things. You will henceforth be stripped of your freedom as punishment for the attempted murder of Mr. William Shamspeare.
Yes, I know.
And you, Mr. William Shamspeare, will be tried for the murder of Mr. Duncan Ross in cold blood. And the subsequent attempted murder of Mr. Soseki, sorry, I'm not very good with these.
Saucy nutmeg.
I'm not very good with these Asian names. Saucy Nutmeg, here present. Wonderful. Now, off for some tea.
Mr. Naruhodo,
Oh, she still wants to continue.
Ah, yes?
yesterday, at the hospital, when you and your friend stopped me from...
From ending your life by drinking what was left in the poison bottle.
Oh, yes, thanks for reminding me.
I wasn't myself. I can't really remember what was going through my mind. To be or not to be, I suppose. That's a question that's so hard to answer, it seems.
Well, personally, I'm glad of your being here, Miss Green.
Oh,
And I'd like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shamspeare didn't die when he ingested the poison.
Yeah, I suppose Soseki
Just-
would have just been screwed, wouldn't he? Really?
Well, there's that, but also kind of like she wouldn't have seen, like if she'd have taken her own life and Mr. Shamspeare had died, then I guess it wouldn't be. She wouldn't have seen Duncan's murderer get his just rewards. Kind
Yeah.
Of thing.
But yeah, Soseki would also be kind of boned because, we wouldn't
Yeah.
have had this whole
Yeah.
context. For your sake, at the very least.
Oh, I swear.
Aww.
All because of you. I chose life, not death. And now you've made the truth come out at last.
And then Van Zeek's over there just like, bleh.
Well, I do feel a little bit guilty about sentencing you to a life in prison, but that's the way the world goes
It's the
round.
way the cookie crumbles when you try to murder somebody. Perhaps don't next time.
Really? I can't thank you enough. Oh, Miss Green.
Aww.
I know when
Oh, it's gonna make me cry in a minute.
When Susato is
Oh
like
my
that, I'm just like,
God.
oh no.
My eyes are starting to water.
Oh,
I don't
no.
like this. Oh Jesus.
Mr. Saucy Nutsmeg.
It's Soseki Natsume!
Yes, my lord. The court declares that you are finally exonerated from all blame in this matter.
Excuse me, Judge. He's just been accused of another murder. I'm afraid we'll need to start all over again.
Bailiff, could you please detain the man?
The darn curse! These evil spirits!
Right. Accordingly, I would call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present a verdict of not guilty. No, sorry, I think I'm going to say guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty! We are in full agreement, my lord. In that case,
Music stopped.
I hereby declare the defendant
Defer the declendant.
shut up. Not
Yay.
guilty.
Yay!
We did it, guys! Finally, this
It's
case is
finally
done.
over.
I still think this is a health and safety hazard.
Yeah, for sure. Especially back in those times.
well, I don't think there was any health and safety at that point.
Oh, yes, all the fumes from the fireworks inside the courtroom are perhaps not the best idea.
I'm breathing in the chemicals.
The court is adjourned. The court's adjourned.
Oh boy, there we go. Now we get a watery-eyed Soseki. Mr.
No, excuse me. Locum student.
Locum
Mr.
student.
Nanahoto Esquire.
If there is any mention of him being a cat again, we are not going to talk about Susato rubbing his tummy. We're not going to do it.
Well,
Hey,
you just said
started
it. You
this.
just said
You
it.
started it. You started it. There we go.
there it
There
is.
he is.
Oh, yes. Yes. At last. Divine justice duly done.
Okay. No, there he is.
Divine justice? I think you'll find there was nothing divine about my deductions, dear fellow. My dear fellow, if there were any divine justice in this world, you would shave that moustache.
Oof.
No! This has nothing to do with my moustache!
Actually, I think you're right. Some say that a luxuriant moustache is the sign of physical prowess, Mr. Sholmes.
Locum
Luxuriant,
student,
I guess.
Mr. Nanahoto Esquire!
Could you stop
Once
shouting,
again,
please?
once again, I could kiss you. Oh,
Please don't.
Please
You've
don't.
saved me from doom.
I'm very happy to have been able to help, Mr. Natsume. Congratulations on your acquittal. Your second in almost as many days. I am leaving this country and never coming back.
I was first acquainted I was first acquainted with and gained affection for the English literature. That wasn't a bit. That was me
Oh, sorry.
missing up the. I combined English and literature.
My
I'm
dear
sorry.
fellow.
I'm sorry.
We won't tolerate any of that, idiot.
It was a genuine mistake.
I know.
I was first acquainted with and
I think
gained
you should mind your tongue carefully.
I was first acquainted with and gained affection for Ingrid. I did it again. English. Oh, why? English. It's because I don't know what. I don't know English. I'm sorry.
English.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's English. What?
English.
Gained affection for English literature whilst in our great homeland empire. I genuinely don't know what the hell's wrong with me.
Oh, it's like the spirit of Kazuma is still with us.
Now Sarah's gone silent. And, oh. What was that supposed to?
I can't do it.
I think Sarah was trying to slurp her tea.
I was trying
really
to
loud,
slurp
but-
tea. I can't do it.
But it just nothing happened. Just like, and that was it.
Sarah tried to use slurp
Supposed to be
tea.
like-
It wasn't very effective.
Yeah, I was trying to do that.
Ah, yes.
Now I've got loads of water in my mouth. Sorry about that. And then, by a twist of fate, I was brought to the land that bore the fruit of that literature. I think it's because I was, like, wanting to roll an R, even though there is no R in English.
There's no R there.
It's weird. Only, the city of bricks and mortar became my prison. Try as I might, I never found my feet here. In the end, I confined myself to my room and live life through friendly old books.
You've had such a difficult time, haven't you?
Ah, but a week ago now, I dragged you out of that dark and dingy room of yours, did I not? You did. And I've seen more life in this week than in all my years to date. And for the first time, I feel like I've begun to see the true face of the English that's so far been hiding from me behind the wall of fog. My dear fellow, there is nothing special about the true face of the English, as you put it. Wheresoever one goes in the world, humans are human. There are few genuine differences, excluding myself, of course. Not everyone can be a world-famous detective. Yes, I think you're right. I've finally started to see that, and I've come to understand something. I've worked out why I was so attracted to English literature in the first place. It made me see that whatever our nationality, we humans all have the same hopes and fears. We're all just doing our best to live.
Well said. I've come to feel the same way.
I've made a decision too. I'm going to cut short my study tour here and return to Japan.
What?
Just when we'd become friends here in England. What a terrible shame.
Why is he holding his head like that?
I don't know.
Oh, I know. Seeing your face like that, Susato, seeing those tears welling in your eyes, it does tug at my heartstrings. It really does.
It does. It's just like, oh, this is so tough.
But I've decided I'd like to take everything I've learned here in Britain and write something of my own.
Couldn't you write that here, though?
A novel of sorts. I hope.
Oh my! So, you'll be creating your own literature, Mr. Natsume? Oh, how wonderful!
Yes, well, I mean, as I like pretending to be a cat, and you wouldn't tickle my tummy, I suppose I'll have to write a book about it.
What? The FBI's gonna come knocking again.
Oh, well, no, I mean, I wouldn't presume to call it literature! Why not? When that is precisely the definition, Mr. Moustache. I suppose you're right, yes. It will, in a way, be literature. I mean, I suppose you could call adult erotic novella
Oh.
literature.
Oh, now!
But as of now, all I know is I'd like to try my hand at writing. I have no delusions of grandeur. I'll start off
And you know what? Here's a lesson that we can all take from Soseki. Even if you feel like whatever you do at the time isn't great, it's still important to try it and put it out there because you never know who might like it and you never know where it might lead. So don't be afraid to embrace your creative side and share your talent with other people.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, heck, you're watching this channel. It's exactly
For some reason.
It's exactly what we did. But we don't have any delusions of grandeur.
I'm not gonna be mean to myself. I'm just gonna keep quiet.
Yeah, maybe, for once, don't be mean to yourself. That would be nice.
Speaking of being mean to yourself, though, I was sort of thinking that it's like, at the end of this case, we'd finally see what Olive's painting was, and it would be like a really good piece of like her and Duncan
Oh,
together.
yeah.
But I guess they're not going to do that.
Unless
Yes,
we see it in the outro or something.
Yeah, so
Maybe.
there's like little bits where the characters pop up again in like the,
Yeah.
the credits. isn't
We
there?
shall have to see, sir.
I, for one, would love to read your work.
Yeah. Well, all things considered, it may be for the best. Honestly, I can't be wait to be shut of you. After all, you have once again emerged victorious, and there can be only one winner here. The town's not big enough for the two of us, Mr. Natsume. From a battle with the Reaper.
That's very true.
So you'd best get the heck out of here before you randomly appear dead for no reason.
And there is no salvation for a person in the dock when the Reaper is the prosecutor.
Oh, why did you have to say that, Mr. Sato? Honestly, I was just starting to feel good.
But you're not in the dock, Mr. Natsume.
No. The desire to return post-haste to the perceived safety of your homeland is one I quite understand.
My goodness, yes! Faced with such a terrifying prospect, nobody would consider that cowardly, I'm quite sure.
Why did you?
He's standing right behind
Why
me,
did
isn't
you?
he?
Why did you have
He's
to?
right there, isn't
Why
he?
did you? Why did you have to say that? Honestly, but that's not why I'm leaving. I mean it.
Objection!
Oh, how dare you? You saw right through me.
And that was the case that we found ourselves embroiled in 6 months ago now.
That was a long
that I didn't tell you.
Hey,
That I
guys.
didn't tell you about until now for some reason.
That was a long flashback.
Yeah, a long flashback.
It lasted the entire episode.
So Seki-san did indeed return to Japan and submitted a report about both cases to the government.
And they promptly didn't listen to any of them.
It was on reading that report that Professor Mikotoba was prompted to visit the scholar. And barely any time later, Susato-san was given the news that she must return to Japan as well.
No.
On the back of a telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill. The only possible explanation that comes to mind is what happened after the trial on the following day.
Oh no.
Oh God.
Dun 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 dun.
The day that we uncovered the loot hidden by the now deceased convict in his former lodgings.
Oh, there is an epilogue.
Ooh!
Mysterious. Oh, it's getting spicy, guys. Oh, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Oh, well done, Mr. Sholmes. How simply marvellous of you
Well, you
Susato,
know.
all he's done is put his goggles on.
to uncover the secret hiding place in just one day.
Well, it's elementary, my dear Susato.
Oh, he said the thing. He said the thing.
Wasn't it supposed to take 30 minutes?
As I believe I told you, my dear fellows, skin prints are extremely useful in such situations. Wouldn't you agree, Gregson?
Grex has been happily munching in an agreement all this whole time, you know, Hurley.
Oh, hey, this is agreement. This isn't me wishing I would die spontaneously, no.
Happily, I think perhaps
humorlessly might be closer to the truth.
Oh, yes! Oh, you're an ace detective yourself, then. I
So?
paid enough for this nonsense.
So, I find it really weird seeing Sholmes with his goggles like under the brim of his hat. It looks really weird because I'm so used to them being on his hat.
Yeah.
It just looks strange. So, it transpires the man fashioned a hiding place in the ceiling.
And what's in it? What exactly is the loot?
Oh, you're curious, are you, Mr. Naruhodo? Now, it's interesting, really, because, your part's over, isn't it? You've done your bit. Surely you don't need to be embroiled in whatever this is. But I suppose I could tell you as you're just so dying to know. Let us look, then, if you're ready. Let's examine the late burglar's hall. And then we Cole Phelps it. We pick it up and rotate it in our hand. It's like,
What is that?
Oh, what is this? It looks serious.
Fancy ruby collar?
And it's got blood on it.
It looks to be like some sort of neckband or collar.
Is this
That
where the...
says
oh
B.
dear.
Hang on, is this where the Hound of the Baskerville thing's going to come in? It's a
mean-
dog collar, right? B for
Yeah,
Baskerville,
and the-
blood,
yeah.
collar.
And I'd forgot it was a discussion with, I sadly can't remember who it was. It was a discussion with someone in the comments that Selden was a convict in The Hound of the Baskervilles in the actual novel.
And this might be why Sholmes didn't let her publish the story about the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Yeah, the convict, I think he died on the moors as with this convict as well, so it's like...
So, yeah.
We should probably just put this back. We don't really need any more business. I think we're done. Done, maybe?
It looks to be some sort of neckband or collar.
A collar? It's... Oh, no.
That's what she said.
It's huge, though. This looks like it goes around a person's neck. Oh.
And look at all the gemstones set in it. I can see why it was claimed to be worth £1,000. Perhaps I could have it as a belt.
As a belt?
Oh, have you noticed on the inside there? There are some...
How big is this thing?
Well, Iris
Mr.
is only very
Naruhodo.
little. She's a small child.
She is small,
She's a
yeah.
childer, remember?
A childer.
I
child.
get it, but the neck of whatever wore that thing's got to be the size of a freaking light pole.
Like a tree trunk.
Oh, have you noticed on the inside there? There are some dark stains.
No stains, no nothing.
No, I just thought it was part of the pattern.
You don't think they could be blood, do you? I mean, there's quite a lot of it.
On second thoughts, perhaps I won't have it as a belt.
I like the chime at different pitches.
Yeah.
Like bring, bring, bring.
Then, of course, there's this emblem here. A large letter B and a small crown.
King Bee.
King B.
Queen Bee. Oh, actually, I was just actually. Wait a minute.
Oh no!
Queen Bee.
Oh, God.
Queen Bee.
What does it signify, do you think?
Oh, I hadn't noticed that. I feel as though I've seen that emblem somewhere before, Where could it have been?
That's enough of that, I think.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. He's cutting it short again.
what? What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes? Is this is the one case he hasn't been able to solve?
Oh, it could be.
Is this the one case he hasn't
and
been
he's
able to
ashamed
solve,
of it.
and so he doesn't want anyone to know about it because
Oh, no. Sorry.
all the color has drained from his face.
You're right.
Do you
Sarah.
think Iris has solved the case in a novel and he's like, no, you're not taking the credit for it. It was me. I solved this. You can't solve it yet until I've solved
well,
it.
she writes the novels about him
I
anyway.
suppose.
Like she
It
often
might be
solves them.
that he didn't have a conclusion, so she just wrote one of her own, but he doesn't want her to publish it because if he's still looking for the perpetrator, then that could potentially tip them off or whatever.
Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this, oughtn't you? It could be valuable evidence, after all. It must be kept safely under lock and key.
Forever.
Yes. Get your grubby hands off that, you lot, and hand it over, now!
Grumpy.
Wumpy Quegson.
Oh, yes, always grumpy. I don't know why. I have any idea why I'd always be grumpy. I'd never seen a collar that large before.
It's all the headaches that he gets all the time.
Well, yeah.
And all those jewels certainly look to be extremely valuable. But that's not what stood out the most to me. At least, not once I'd noticed it. Those dark marks on the inside of the collar, those stains. Could they really have been blood?
Is it really that hard to believe?
Well, that was a funny case, wasn't it? But it's all buttoned up now.
And you look very pleased, Iris.
I am! Because I was starting to wonder what I could use as a basis of this month's story in the magazine. But this case will be perfect! It's been so fascinating!
You're talking about the latest with only one L.
Installment. I think that's okay.
You're talking about the latest installment of The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, I presume.
The mystery of the knife in the mist, and the moustached man and the convict's curse, perhaps. I could make it a two-part story!
It's like, there she goes with
Why
the
do you
gun.
need the gun?
Iris, give me the gun now,
It's
please.
like, it could be, a nice story and a gun!
Oh, I can't wait!
You know how it ends!
A word, please, Iris.
Yes? What is it, Hurley?
I'm sorry, but you can't write about this case. That's out of the question.
What? Why not? It's a great case.
Grumpy Iris, I like. Sorry, I'm glancing over and watching Sarah doing the grumpy face like Iris, and it's just funny. Then I shall have to insist that you limit yourself to the first of your two titles. The second must never be written. Is that clear?
Aww.
Yes.
So I guess because Selden was a convict, right? And he was a murderer. So I wonder if, it's one of Selden's murders that Sholmes hasn't been able to solve. You know, he was put away, he was executed, but there's probably still that one case that Sholmes, as the great ace detective, hasn't been able to figure out.
And so it was that the second of Soseki-san's cases became buried in obscurity. Now, looking back, I feel I understand. I can see why Mr. Sholmes forbade Iris from publishing the story.
You gonna share with the rest of the class?
No.
It would take a little longer before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen.
I expect the explanation that we're talking about will come in the next case.
Yeah.
For it wasn't until 2 months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again.
See, if only we advanced the text.
The only other thing I can think is why she can't write about it is it pertains to the list at the end of
The first
the
one.
first
Oh,
one.
could be.
If something in that case links, and then Iris would find out.
About her father.
Her father. I don't know.
With an incident that took place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
Black screen. There it is.
And so the adventures of the Clouded Kokoro have come to a close.
Yes.
Huzzah. I know there'll be at least a few happy commenters.
I can think of one.
Yes. And
But it's
now,
all good though.
Return of the Great Departed Soul.
So excited to find out some stuff.
Yes.
I need closure.
We're finally past
closure.
past the filler.
Yes.
Although, to be fair, I guess it wasn't really filler because it had all the stuff with the... What the heck
Gun!
is that? It had the... I guess it
It's a
had...
Monokuma weapon.
I guess it had the stuff
my
with
shrink
Selden,
gun.
though. Right, okay. The end of the century The grand end of the century Great Exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it. Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe have converged on Hyde Park, welcoming over 50 million visitors, the last great hurrah of this century. I don't know what voice I'm doing.
It's kind of a bit of a Herlocky.
Listen, astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success. But as regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, if only I could speak, very few are aware my friend Mr. Sherlock Holmes had a hand in unraveling the matter.
Herlock Sholmes.
Far from... I said Herlock Sholmes, didn't I?
No, he's... No.
No, you said Sherlock.
You
for
said
God's sake.
Sherlock.
Far from that. Ah!
Sorry.
And like the centerpiece of the Great Exhibition which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park, I thought I said Herlock Sholmes.
You did not.
Sholmes's brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the Crystal Tower itself, brought the truth to light. The Crystal Tower? Wait a minute, are we playing Final Fantasy again? Is this the Allegan's Crystal Tower? Is it to... We're here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people. The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to Oh, is this a... Hang on a second. Is this an announcer, or is this the same thing, do we think?
I don't know.
It might be. The weather is unusually fine. Let's see. And we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes. Hello there. Yes, it is me. Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world.
No.
Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies. And today,
Doubtful.
we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine. That freaking wavy guy over there.
Oh, no, like, hello.
He kind of looks a bit like, oh my goodness, from Dragon Quest. Oh my god, the
Dragon
clown,
Quest?
the clown guy. Oh, what's his name?
Silvano.
Sylvando!
Silvando, yeah.
My darling!
How could you
My
forget
darling.
Silvano,
I know,
Oh,
I know.
darling.
He's the best.
For shame.
For shame,
shame.
darling. He is the best character.
Darling,
And no,
how could you forget me?
how could you forget Sylvando?
He's
I-
the best boy.
It has been a while. It has been a while, I'm going to be honest. A man will literally be disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity and beamed to another location,
Oh, this could
Well-
only go well.
whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of complex calculations exactly as it were before.
Yeah, okay. He's got a bunch of complex calculators. That's that's because it's they could definitely do those kinds of calculations with machinery back then.
Are you ready to die, sir? I hope so.
He's going to be a puddle, isn't he?
Look at the hibbly hoo. In but a few moments from now, this gentleman will, in the blink of an eye, complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you.
Oh, he gonna die.
A little bit of this, little bit of that, and off it goes. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And watch the dials, watch the
It's like
dials.
strapped
Don't let it get too high. Don't let it get too high. We're getting there. Establishing pressure. And yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, that's too much. Too much.
Oh, quick. Calm it down. Quick.
Oh,
Pull
dear.
this lever here. This one. That one. Turn that dial. Quick. Here.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
I liked the sort of like old announcer, like the old adverts with the really
The
like.
sight today was something to
It
be
was-
seen as a man's gibbets was spread across the entire crowd after a malfunction occurred that jolted him with a bunch of electricity. I mean, any kind of onlooker could probably tell you that was a bad idea, but that's science for you. There's no advancement without risk.
I was sort of going for like the old sort of BBC broadcast.
Yeah,
way back.
that's what I was getting.
Hello there.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome.
This
It
is
is
the BBC rules.
Yes, it is 36 minutes past 9 in the morning on the 22nd of October. You now find us in Sholmes' suite.
That sounds like me in the morning.
Yeah, it sounds like Taylor.
Sorry.
Bruno! Bruno, are you listening?
Sorry. What was that, Iris?
What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast?
Oh no, that's it. The child guilt tripping.
No, that's not it at all. What were we talking about again?
Today's paper! It's full of news about the Great Exhibition again.
Oh, yes, the death. The gruesome, grisly death, yes.
Of course, I didn't read that part. What paper did you have?
Yes, the Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime.
You're really not your usual self today. You seem very down. What, don't you agree, Hurley?
Well.
Oh no, now there's two of them. I can't deal with this.
Did you say something, Iris?
Why does no one listen to me? Oh gosh, you're even more down.
Oh dear. God, that face.
I've not had a wink of sleep.
That's Pete whenever we say the intro bit out of order.
I mean, sure. When did you? Wait, that's Soseki. When did you arrive, Mr. Naruhodo? I was just attempting. I was just trying to testing out my impersonations. How did you like my Soseki voice?
I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together.
I remember nothing of the sort. What? Why didn't you mention it before?
I thought you might have known I was here. You know, because breakfast?
I wasn't paying attention to you. Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim. So much so that I didn't notice your presence.
Thanks.
Of course. I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations. I mean, I am the great Herlock Sholmes. Let's see. Yes, for example, your tousled hair this morning with all its unruly spikes. Clearly it can be deduced, therefore, that...
Let me stop you there, Mr. Sholmes, because I think I can see where this is going.
No, you can't stop
My
me.
hair always looks like this. It always has, ever since we first met, in fact.
Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. Oh, gosh.
Thanks
I
again.
crack myself up.
Kill me.
Oh, yes.
It crossed my mind recently that it's been 6 months now.
Oh, yes, 6 very long months, yes.
6 months?
Since I was forbidden from working in court.
Huh?
So I've been wondering how much longer I'm going to be banned.
I don't remember him getting banned. What?
Is it because
It
of
was
the
from the
McGilded
Gina thing, right? Because, it was...
Oh, yes, because
Well,
of-
it was both, because it was, he defended McGilded, and then he basically supported information that he knew was false or suspected.
Well, no,
Yeah.
that's the
He
thing.
got him acquitted when
No.
he knew.
That was the thing, wasn't it? We didn't know that it was. He didn't know it was false at the time and whatnot. But because he revealed that it was false at the time, they're like, "Oh, you should have found that out at the
Yeah,
time.
he
You're an idiot."
Yeah, they just penalised him quite
Yeah.
harshly, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, what do we know? We don't know anything about
Well.
law, apart from that you shouldn't break it.
Well,
Don't break it. It's
don't
bad.
break it.
Or no, I guess
Don't break these.
that it's no, because what happened was he knew that Gina's previous testimony had been false. But then he called her to the stand.
He found
out.
Yeah.
No, he found out, but then he called her to testify in the second case anyway.
Yeah.
I think it was like something to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all had to like come out in the wash kind of thing to solve the case, but
Yeah.
Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum. Don't you agree, Hurley? Oh no, not again. Hurley, what happened now? You've only been stuck there for 2 minutes.
Did you say something, Iris?
Honestly, if the wind changes, your face will stick like that.
Oh, my dear
back to
fellow.
moping.
My dear madam.
What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today?
Oh, that's just him on a normal day, really.
He seems even more down in the dumps than me.
Oh no, that's quite happy, to be fair. I know! And the great exhibition has opened. You'd think he'd be excited. Oh, why don't we all go and see it together?
I want to. Of course I do, but I can't. Not for the time being.
Why not?
Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all.
So you're embroiled in some tricky case that you can't be distracted from? Is that... No, he wants a case that he can display, basically.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing that you're working on a case, Hurley.
Exactly.
That's the point.
I need to think of something quickly.
I suppose I should try to find out what's going on.
Oh, you're still there, are you? I thought you'd gone away, honestly. Your gloomy mood.
Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes?
You could say that, I suppose.
Nothing more to add? That's not like you.
Yes, I'm trying to solve the case of my missing sock. It seems to happen
What
on a
sort of
regular
case-
basis. And it seems to happen every time I wash them. It's uncanny.
Iris, have you been misplacing my socks? No, Helen, it's you. You need to keep track of them, you buffoon.
Remember, I
dear.
made you do your own washing after last time. I don't want to be washing your skiddy underwear, thank you very much.
Dear. Well, that's not very, very nice, is it? I don't think that was called for at all.
It's disgusting.
Iris needs to invent a bidet, I guess.
And I'm quite fed up I'm quite fed up of washing your diapers, Miss Iris.
Okay.
No.
What
Moving on.
sort of case? What sort of case is it?
Wait, what? Okay. Yeah. Shh! Quiet, Mr. Naruhodo. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening.
By who's listening, do you mean
And
me?
then he looks straight at Iris. You never know. Not subtly at all. And she's like, I know you're looking at me.
I want you to know that I am here. You're acting very strangely, Hurley.
My dear fellow. No, I'm not. Not at all.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, usually, the more mysterious and complicated a case is, the better Hurley's mood.
I know, and it's the problem is it's a very simple and straightforward case. That's the problem. Ah.
Is it really a case that's bothering you?
Iris, please. You mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation. Remember what I always say. Put yourself in the shoes of the individual about whom you're making deductions. Honestly.
You say that, do you? You, Mr. Sholmes.
Never mind. Once I've had a cup of tea, I must make my way at once to the crime scene.
That was a deep sigh.
All right then. Event 6 months ago.
Half a year ago now, I took on the defense of a young girl in a trial heard at the Old Bailey. What at first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at a London pawnbrokery turned out to be one part of a much more far-reaching plot that involved the British government. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable, yet at the same time unforgivable mistake.
Words fail me. This situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes, my lord.
I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial.
Of course, my lord. In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked.
I was told I had to spend my time in research and study, so that's what I've been doing. It was a lot easier when Susato was here because she could just look up whatever answer I was thinking.
You have, haven't you, Bruno?
Like some sort of search steam engine or something. Very, very powerful.
I mean, emphasis on steam. It was the age of steam, after all.
That's the joke.
Okay. Never mind. I'll go back to sleep.
A search traction engine.
You have, haven't you, Bruno? Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room? And the notes about Sholmes' old cases?
Oh, did I hear my name? Brewing Iris's special blends of tea, fetching my daily bread for me. You've become something of a manservant around here. Start on the silverware next, Master Naruhodo.
Well, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers that be to reconsider.
Oh dear, oh bother. Honestly, I was getting quite used to it.
Specifically Lord Strongheart at the British Supreme Court on Whitehall.
Oh, that timey-wimey...
Wibbly wobbly.
Wibbly wobbly, eh?
Lord Strongheart?
Ah, the delightful Lord Chief Justice. Not my favourite fellow.
He's not mine either, but he's the man I have to talk to.
Yes.
He's the only one who can grant permission for me to start working in the courts again.
Shame.
I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could. And I can't do that just sitting around here.
Good show, good show.
The whole of London has been swept up in this great exhibition, hasn't it?
But has it been swept up in this great exhibition?
You know, I thought, is it worth clicking on another
I was
option,
wondering.
but-
Yeah, sorry. I kind of just didn't want to leave it just hanging in limbo, so I am sorry.
But yet what you've done is you've left
Well,
it hanging in limbo.
I have, but not just sat on the screen where to select. Just anyway, thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to catch more of our silly shenanigans, why don't you hit that like button? Drop a comment down below. We may actually reply to them. We do love reading them. Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. You get notified of our videos every Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And with that, my dear fellows, from the man whose voice changes every 2 moments, I bid you adieu!
Goodbye, everyone. See you next time.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to test a giant doomsday device that's supposed to break down people with electricity, maybe try it on a stuffed animal first instead of trying it on a live person the first time you do it.